everyone. I'm Ronit on the East Coast,
And I'm WizCate on the West Coast.
and we are
Hopelessly
Hopelessly Unedited.
unedited.
Yeah. So, last time we talked a little bit about corporate mishaps. We kind of went into a little bit. So, even though I didn't name, but somebody remembered. So, just want to share that. But with that said, today,
Somebody remembered.
I
Okay.
know. But with that said, today we're going to talk about lighter subject. We're going to talk about movies. So, there are a lot of great international movies, and America would reproduce it. What is the term? Not reproduce it, but kind of I call it a copycat. Basically, have an American version of it. Remake.
Remake.
Thank you. So I asked Kate to give me 2 French movies that have American copycats. So the first one is Birdcage, and the
La
second
Cage
one
aux
is
Folles.
what?
La Cage aux Folles in French. La.
All right, okay, hold that thought. You're gonna teach me.
Okay.
So the second movie is the American version is Three Men and the Baby. So first, I need to learn how to say the French movie properly in French. The Birdcage, that is not a direct translation, right? Is it?
That's right. Bird. Well, it's not
Something
an
about
exact
feather.
translation. It's not an exact translation. Birdcage, implies birds, and birds are like gays and whatnot. Like Cage aux Folles is
Okay.
is the cage for the queers. Folle is like the female for crazy, and which is what they
Okay.
used to call homosexuals way
Oh,
back
really?
when.
In
Mhm.
France?
Yeah, in the maybe 50, 60 years ago, they used to call them folle.
Okay. I don't
There's a
think
lot of words for homosexuals that were used at the time.
So I don't think in America that was ever used. These words were ever used to describe homosexual, right? Or am I wrong? Because I
A
have no
bird? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, a bird
Yeah.
is kind of like an old term for a female, for a
Oh,
woman.
okay.
Yeah, so, or a girl, a bird.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure how they decided to translate it like that, but
So in Chinese, there is a saying that a couple, because usually female is smaller, so it's like a little bird leaning on her man. And so I told my husband that I'm his little bird. So,
you are a bird.
But anyway.
It's kind of an old-fashioned term to say.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's very similar culturally. I think every culture has similar terms about that.
So this movie didn't come out in Hong Kong?
The French
It might
movie?
have come out as the Birdcage, but not
The French, I don't know. I have no idea. I actually can do some research and I'll do a follow-up to research and see if it did come out in Hong Kong. But it was in the 70s, so I was still pretty young, so I might not even know
Me too.
if it came out. Okay, so first order, you gotta teach me how to say it in French. La, right? First
La.
word. I think I can say la, and then
Cage.
what?
Cage.
Cage. Is that right?
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Oh, la
Folle.
cage. Oh,
Folle.
fell.
Folle.
Like fell. No. Yes.
La Cage aux Folles.
Like pho. Oh no.
Folle. No, it's a little bit more of an O sound. La Cage aux Folles.
Pho.
Faux.
Folle.
Folle.
Folle. La cage
La
aux
Cage aux
vol.
Folles.
La cage aux vol.
La
La
Cage
cage
aux
aux vol.
Folles.
Folle. La cage aux vol. Okay. No.
If I were near you, it would probably be easier to have you hear it.
But would people know what I'm saying, or it's so bad that I was saying something else?
If you were in France, they probably would know.
Okay. Okay.
They
All
would have
right.
some context, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's true. All right. So I just wanted. So I've never seen this movie. I've never seen the American version, in fact. And right before we started the recording, Kate told me that I should see it. It's very funny, and I think I will. In that case, in my pastime, I think this week I'll try to see it, and then maybe I'll give you a, what I think about the American version next time, the next week. So so all I did was some research on about this movie. So
Wow.
it's actually a cult classic. So I read Wikipedia, I read some of the reviews. It's considered a cult classic. It's a pioneer LGBTQ film representation. So is that correct, Kate?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
But it is in a very French style. It is very non-PC,
What's PC?
politically correct.
Ah, ah,
It's
ah.
very politically incorrect, and
Yeah, but
at the time it was already incorrect. Um, they have stereotypical representations of one of the men who's very flamboyant and very feminine um, and at the time, that's what they did. People said, like, if you're homosexual, you have to be flamboyant. You have to speak that certain way. You have to walk the way the guy walked. And he did all of this fabulously, like a real
uh,
queen.
so I did uh found a short clip on
Okay.
Reddit, and it was the scene where they were in a cafe, and then he walked out, and I don't know, there are a bunch of men out there, and I don't know if it was a gay bar, or actually I couldn't tell if they were all straight. Um, I Can I say something politically incorrect?
Yeah, we're unedited. We say politically
I
incorrect stuff all the time.
I have issues with European men because half of them I feel like they're very feminine, and I swear there are European men that I thought they were gay, but they were totally not gay.
They're
I don't know why.
metrosexual.
Well, if you talk to some of the gay men, some gay men really hate this word. I don't know why, but anyway, yeah, I wasn't sure the rest of the people in the bar, and of course it didn't have subtitles either, so I couldn't tell if they were gay, they were in a gay bar, or they were in a, just a regular bar, but they were in the little tea room having coffee and stuff. Yeah, he just walked right out. The physical comedy I do like, but as you said, because of the stereotypical thing, and it kind of irked me a little bit. But I think if I see the movie from end to end, I might feel differently. What do you think?
Yeah,
Do you think?
they pushed a stereotype really far, and that's one of
Mm,
the things that French people do is that they'll push it as far as they can,
yeah.
for shock effect and for funny effect. I mean, when I came here, I used to laugh at a whole bunch of stuff that was
Mm,
completely non-PC, and now when I
mm,
go back and I hear something that's non-PC, it just shocks me. Like I get really shocked. But that's in the culture. That's
right. Yeah.
it's making fun of the things. Yeah, it's shock value. George Carlin used
Hmm.
to do stuff like this. There's a few American comics that do that too. But it's
Yeah.
very French to just say something that is shocking, just so that you remember and you can then talk about it and have a conversation.
Would you say that's very French or very general in a lot of European countries are that way?
Um, Yeah, I think it's more so French, but it is very,
Mm,
yeah. I mean, in Europe, people would not be necessarily completely shocked by it. You know,
yeah.
they
I
would
think,
expect it for sure from a French person.
right. So there has been a theme since we've been recording, is that non-American culture is a little bit more direct. And we seem
Yeah, for
to
sure.
kind of take things in stride. It's not like rudeness. It's probably not tolerated. It's not probably rudeness is not tolerated either. But kind of there's a way to kind of discern it's just good old fun or being rude, right? So um
Yeah.
yeah. So okay. What I read was the reason why this movie was so good is because it's the first movie about gay couples with a loving relationship.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
then they're also looking out for the kid and trying to play the part because the premise is about the the kid that it's from the not as flamboyant half of the couple had a fling with a woman. That's where the kid came from, and trying to marry a young woman that whose parents were very in the politics, very conservative. So that's how it all played out, and all these things happening. But I think, isn't it true that there's a realization in the end, though? Everybody's doing their best to look out for the child and to ensure that, they can get married and things like that. I don't know. But it's, how American movies is more melodramatic. At the end, everybody's happy and ended happy. The French version, is it the same way? That everybody ended up happy or more open ended?
Um, I think everybody ends up okay
Mm-hmm.
at the end. The the morals of the time, they sort of guided how you ended the movie. And the American movie was made maybe 10 years later or something like that.
Way
Like,
later, right? It's way
yeah,
later. I
10,
was
15
already in
years
the
later.
US. Yeah.
And, oh, okay. So maybe in the 90s.
Or even
So
later. I don't know.
yeah,
I feel
I
like,
don't remember,
yeah.
but,
I can look it up real quick.
I think at the time they had to end it in a way that was acceptable. And I mean, just making that movie was already pretty shocking. So they just kind of leaned on this, and the fact that it was funny made it acceptable. And that I think that was pivotal because it helped
Hmm.
acceptance.
Yeah.
It is, in European countries, there's kind of an understanding that this stuff happens. There are homosexuals out there. It's true,
Hmm.
and there is like there's acceptance and tolerance, um, and I think there's more acceptance than tolerance over there right now.
Okay.
I think it's become more mainstream and more okay, even than it was
Right.
when I left. Even though, like for me, it's been a non-issue pretty much all my life, but yeah, I think that here, by contrast, there's a lot less tolerance and even less acceptance, and more judgment. People want to
Mm.
be in your bedroom. They want to worry about what you do more here than in Europe. So,
Why do people worry about that? I wonder. I mean, anyway.
I mean, we could
Uh,
talk about LGBT stuff at some point. It's just kind of a long,
yeah.
there's a long history of this. Intolerance in the US, and I think it's religiously
Hmm.
based. You just sort of,
Yeah.
anything that's different, people don't like it. And so, if you don't like something, you just kind of are more vocal here, I think,
Okay. But
in a way.
I one last question about this movie. Um, you loved it, right?
Yeah, I thought it was really funny.
Okay, so there were some negative critics reviews about it, about I don't know. I wonder if those critics, those reviews, they were American reviews. I wonder if they were written, way after it was first premiere. It talked about it's just another of those slapstick movie that's being funny,
Was it
that tried
was
to
it
be funny or something.
were the reviews you read on the French Birdcage or the American Birdcage?
The French one. I
I'm
mean, it
really
did win.
shocking here.
Yeah, you think?
And then
Yeah,
it's
it's been.
when something is
Yeah, it won.
subtitled or dubbed, you lose a fair amount of the
Um,
context and the funny stuff. And
yeah. So that is the thing. Like, if you don't understand French, I wonder if that perspective changes a little bit, you know?
you're probably right. You probably had the same thing with Hong Kong, right? Like if you don't understand Chinese or Cantonese, you just the movie doesn't ring as nice or as funny or as I don't know.
Yeah, something really bugged me when I was in Hong Kong, watching American movies, with when I was home in Hong Kong and I have American friends or my husband, um, went to Hong Kong with me, and then we decided, hey, let's go watch a movie. Let's say, I'm making it up. That's not the movie. I can't remember which one. Let's say Avengers, and they have a lot of jokes, right? And there's subtitles, Chinese subtitles. And I hated it because people would read the subtitle and they would start laughing before the punchline finished. You know what I mean? So that really bugged me. And I'm like, oh, come on, guys, just hold for 2 seconds. But anyway,
Can
okay.
can I
So,
can I have a little anecdote about this?
hmm yeah,
I went to a movie. I think it's in Shanghai, an American movie. It was the Da Vinci Code,
okay.
and in the Da Vinci Code, at one point, they point to the watch, the guy's watch, and it was like a Rolex, and somebody said in English, and it was translated on the screen before, like slightly before, just like you're saying. It
hmm
somebody in the movie says like, "Oh, that's a knockoff from China." And the entire movie theater erupted in laughter, even before I knew what was going on. Then he said something about the Rolex being a knockoff from China. It was really funny. It was kind of a unreal moment when something
Yeah.
like this happens, because like in context for them, I'm sure it was really funny. For me, it was kind of like,
hmm
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I do, talking about anecdote, I do like this spontaneous moments when you go to a movie theater. We can talk about it sometime because right now I actually prefer, especially long movies, to watch it at home just because, if I had to go to the bathroom, I just pause, right? But going to theater, there's some spontaneous moments I was really happy. I remember when, the movie Crazy Rich Asian came out,
Oh
and
yeah.
I went yeah, I went and saw it with my daughter, and I think it's just my daughter. Maybe my husband was there as well. I saw it a couple of times in theater, but this the time that my daughter was present. There was a scene, the bachelor's party. They were like in this big bar in the international water, having this huge party, and they were firing these, um, I think fireworks with a cannon, right? So there's one scene that um, uh, it fires off and hit this woman, and this woman just like blasted into the pool. And then right at that moment, my daughter's like, "Oh shit!" And then I said, "There are kids in the theater." And then everybody was laughing so hard. It's because of our exchange, because she was so loud, and I was like, "Stop, they're kids." But anyway, okay. So the second movie we want to talk about is the American version is Three Men and a Baby. So teach me how to say the French name.
Okay. Trois,
How do you say the French? Quoi?
trois,
Quoi? Toi?
trois.
Toi?
Homme, homme,
Homme? Toi homme?
et
Mm-hmm.
trois
Et?
hommes, Un
Trois hommes,
bébé.
wait, it's Couffin, the French name, the last word.
Oh, trois hommes et un couffin. No,
Couf?
et un couffin. Oh, yeah, okay. Is that what the title is?
Couffin?
Okay. Trois hommes et un couffin. Okay,
That's
sorry.
couf.
Couffin.
Trois hommes ou couffin. This one's
That's
better,
it.
huh?
Very good. Trois hommes et un couffin.
Okay. Okay. So honestly, I haven't seen the French one either. I can tell you I didn't like the American one. So, well, it's all right. It's not one of those life-changing movies for like life-changing comedies for me. And you know, there are a few movies that I liked, like um, Miss Congeniality, Legally Blonde, Mean Girls,
You like
Pitch
movies with
Perfect.
women.
Yeah, I quote all the time, right? I quote them. I feel like I just quote them. I just quote the lines all the time from these movies. I felt like that's all life is about. Any life event, there will be a line that you can use to quote. So it's not that kind of movie. It's okay. And one of the things that well, I think it's because the whole events leading up to going to see that movie kind of annoys me because um long time ago, I think it came out in Thanksgiving or something. At the time, I was sort of seeing this guy, went to their house for Thanksgiving, and he was hanging out with his friends. And I think they were all in the high school basketball team. And we, college, everybody got home, they got together, they played basketball, and I was there playing basketball with them and did all kinds of things. And it's like, hey, what else can we do? Like his friends asked, it's like, oh, I want to go see Three Men and a Baby, the guy that I was seeing. And I said, okay. And then the conversation came again, and he said, well, I want to see Three Men and the Baby. And finally, one of his friends like, okay, we get it. You want to see Three Men and a Baby, and the whole thing sort of annoys me. I don't know why, but when I went and saw it, I just felt like it's got these regular formula funny, but it's just so American. Everybody was happy. The mom moved in with the three men at the end, and I thought that is so unrealistic. And so, based on my research, the French version did not end up like that. So it's a little bit more artsy and more realistic ending. So did you like the French version of the movie?
Um, I saw it at the time. I don't really remember uh, the difference between the two.
Oh, so the plot's about the same. It's about the mother left the baby because the roommate knew there was a package delivered. They didn't know what it was, and ended up it was some it's drugs. But the mother left the baby first, so they thought the baby was the package. And then when the drug came, they run around and try to you know give the drug back to the drug lord or throw it away or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those mistaken thing. And at the end, the American version, the mom came back and say, I'm leaving you guys the baby, I'm going to London or something like that. And she had a change of heart, and then the man invited her to move in with them, so that her and the baby and the three men can live happily ever after.
Oh, right,
Those
right. It's like
normal
we,
melodramatic version, ending. Um,
yeah,
so, but
they
I think the
couldn't figure out
French
who the
one
dad
was,
was. Yeah.
no, I think they knew who the dad was. She only slept with one guy, but it's still unrealistic that, I don't know. To me, it was unrealistic. Um, and usually these running around, you know, these I just felt like the whole movie dragged on for too long. But anyway, the research says the French version, the ending is a little bit different in a way that is the mother did not move in, more realistic. But the artsy stuff is that you see the little girl kind of grew up, and then you see the mother and that just laying in the crib, and just kind of, curled up and sleep. And there's some symbolic thing about that, that she was still supposedly immature, and that's how it ended. So, so you didn't remember that ending, the French version?
No, it's been quite a while. I apologize. Plus, I had a few things going on
Oh,
this week that have prevented me from preparing anything at all this time.
well, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Do you recall if you liked the movie?
I remember that it was funny. I remember actually that the American version was also funny. Now, whether I liked it, I like both of them like a lot. Um, I don't think so. I think it was kind of like, oh, it's a funny movie, and then that was kind of it.
Mm-hmm.
But the but it just like Cage aux Folles, they did really that movie did really well at the French box
Yeah,
office. Yeah,
right.
and I think Three Men and a
Yeah.
Baby did really well in the U.S. too.
Mm-hmm. It did
It was kind
really
of fun.
well.
Yeah.
Because I think there at that time was like Tom Selleck, Ted Dancer, and the Ghostbusters guy, Gutenberg. I forgot his, like, with really curly hair. I never thought he was attractive. I don't know why he would. Oh, Police Academy, not Ghostbuster, but I never thought he was attractive. But he was one of those sex symbol. Um, I don't know why. Tom Selleck, on the other hand, I thought he was attractive. But if you think about it, he really, I don't know. Never mind. He was a big guy. So yeah, so it's not one of those life changing ones that I could just quote, and you know, they're just the women movies are just so funny that I love. Legally Blonde is like bend and snap. It works every time. So like things like that, they just don't have those moments, these movies for me. But I will watch the American version of Birdcage and I'll tell you next time. Since you said it's very funny. And I believe you. So um so I want to leave a thought before we close out this week.
Okay.
Um do you think that do you like actually as a question for you, do you
Well,
like happy ending? Like not that what happy ending I'm talking about, movies with a happy ending. Sorry, my mind went into a gutter for a
I
moment.
like resolved endings. They don't have to be happy, but they have to be resolved. So like I don't like it when they let you sort of figure out what to make out of it. Like in general, I don't like that. I prefer when they tell you this is what happened. Um,
Hmm.
Personally, what about you?
uh I do too. I feel like, first thing, uh, Birdcage, the French version, it's not quite resolved, I feel like, based on the description. So I'll try to watch it. I'll find a version that has subtitle and try to watch it to see if it's true before we meet next week. But that is where I felt like, so what happened to these people, right? And I feel like American movies, when you don't have a total resolve, it's, hey, they're gonna make a second one. So, and some I like. If I like the movie, I thought, okay, I can't wait for the second one. But the movies that I don't like, I'm like, I won't watch it. This movie sucks. I won't watch the second, part two of it or something, right? So, um, you're right. I do like a good wrap up. Otherwise, it will be a mini series or a TV series. So,
Yeah.
so I do wanted to know from the audience, and I'm going to put a poll in Facebook and also, on all the platforms that you can hang out with us, Instagram, um, Spotify, and YouTube. I'll put a poll out to see if you guys like to see a movie that has a resolve or you don't really care. So with that said, well, 30 minutes goes by fast.
That's crazy. It's
I
crazy.
know you, when you're having fun, time flies, eh? So, okay. So I'm Ronit on the East Coast.
And I'm WizCate on the West Coast.
And we're hopelessly unedited. And
Unedited.
you'll see us every week, I hope. And give us any comments, any feedback you like, and any topics you'd like to talk about.
Sounds
Please put it
great.
in your comments or write us directly, hopelesslyunedited@gmail.com. So we'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone. Cheers.
Bye.